We're not talking about 25,000 hits, because one person can make 100 hits on one site. This is 25,000 visitors a day just to Salafi talk. They said, you got 24 hours, you are killing our server, go somewhere else. So we had to go somewhere else. So when you saw a few days ago some of the brothers saying Salafi talk is down, it was down because we were changing the ISP. So don't think that when you donate your money it goes nowhere. It goes to beneficial causes. Salaf.com, Salafi audio. Now, you know, there's some of the brothers around the world as well, they said, look, we come from Sri Lanka, we come from the Maldives, or we come from Africa, and we don't have money, you know, to buy a £2.50 CD for it to be shipped from the United Kingdom all the way to Nigeria or all the way to, you know, Sri Lanka. £2.50 for a CD, and then we got to pay £6 postage for one CD, one lecture, 30 minutes. We said, no problem. We set up Salafi audio. All of the lectures now, 50 pence a lecture. Everyone in the world now, you want to listen to one lecture of Sheikh Falah, 1.5 hours long, 50 pence. One price for every lecture. So it's not that, you know, we're here to make money out of the people. Our role is to give da'wah. And since we do not get funding, we are not in a Muslim country where normally you would find that the government funds the various masajid and the marakis and the da'wah organizations. Our da'wah is a da'wah that is funded financially by the Muslims. So I don't see what would be the major problem. Or if a person was to say himself, you know what, I want the da'wah to spread, and I want it for its strength to remain. In fact, I want it to become stronger. You know, you see those masajid of Ahlul Bid'ah, how devoted they are to their innovation. Devoted, wallahi, some of them people. It's bid'ah. It's upon other than the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, sometimes involving shirk and kufr. They'll take out mortgages from the banks so that they can put another minaret on a mosque. That's what they'll do, some of them. That they will take on a debt upon themselves, a haram debt, so that their bid'i mosque continues. And some of our brothers, you say, listen, just £2 a month. Say, Akhi, you don't know my situation. Say, £2 a month, I don't need to know your situation. £2 a month, 50 pence a week, that's all. Brother doesn't have a bank account. Every time you come to a conference, give us £24. Every time you come to a conference, give us £24. That's all. So I don't think that's asking for a great amount. You can take your break now, my brothers and sisters, but ponder over what I've said. As you walk out, you'll see some of the brothers outside collecting. Give the money to them and give with a happy heart. Don't give it with a stingy, oh, go on then, here's my £2. Don't give it like that. Don't think that I'm forcing. We're not forcing anybody. Give it and know, inshallah, that when I go to any website, if I'm in London in South Bank University, I see Maktaba Salafiyya leaflets. If I'm in East London, if I'm in Scotland, Dundee, Isle of Man, France, wherever I am, it happened. Sheikh Muhammad al-Anjari last year, he came. He said, many years ago, I did a talk. I said, you did a lot of talks. Which talk? He said, who are the Salafis? I said, oh, yeah. He said, wallahi, akhi, something ajib happened. It was me, myself, Sheikh Falah, and Sheikh Muhammad al-Anjari last year. He said, he went to Germany for some medical treatment for his mother. I think his mother or one of his elder relatives. He said, we were upon the Autobahn driving. Petrol, we needed petrol, so we stopped off at a service station, and I was putting petrol in the car. And one of the guys who was in the petrol station, he said I was at the petrol station, and one of the guys in a cashier, he said I didn't even realize he was a Muslim or what he was. He was just just a brother or just a guy. He said salam to me, so I responded with the salam. He said, where are you from? He said, I told him I'm from Kuwait. He said, mashallah, I can't remember what nationality, I think French Algerian or something like this. He said, oh mashallah, he said, you from Kuwait? He said, yeah, I'm from Kuwait. He said, have you heard of Muhammad al-Anjari? He said, yeah, I've heard of Muhammad al-Anjari. He said, go and visit him. I've heard a tape of his called Who Are the Salafis? It's one of the best tapes you're ever going to hear. And Sheikh Muhammad al-Anjari said, JazakhaAllahu Khair, inshallah, JazakhaAllaah Khair. Gave his salam and went. He said, Ajib. Now I'm in the middle of Germany at a service station, and this man is telling me about a tape that was published by Masjid as-salafi, a tape that I did in 1996 about who are the Salafis. So it shows that here's a man in the middle of in Germany, that this guy here has heard a tape of Muhammad al-Anjari that was done by Masjid as-salafi in 1996. Now, when you donate your money, what are you aiding in? This is the type of activity that you're aiding in. This is the type of activity that we don't take money and, that I'm going to take money and build a new house, even though, some of the accusations, you're not going to stop them. MashaAllah, look at his nice coat. I wonder where he got that from. Yeah? You're going to get that. That's shaitan whispering into the souls of the people. Say, MashaAllah, look what he's got. A lot of the brothers, when Taqweem used to come by Taqweem used to come to buy, every time he come with a new car. Say, Masjid as-Sunnah. Yeah, Masjid as-Sunnah. Toyota Privia. Lucida. Next week he comes with another Toyota. He says, this is it. Wallah, I don't listen to any of that. When people say, I want transparency for the money. Yes, you don't need transparency. Look at the building. Look at the leaflets. Look at the books. Look at the CDs. Look at the tapes. Look at the bookstore. That's where the money is going. Look at the websites. Look at the efforts. There is hardly an Islamic website in the West that has more Islamic, I don't say Salafi, Islamic website in the West that has more hits than the websites of Maktab as-Salafiyya. Salafis, it's become a household name now. Some people hate it to death and some people love it to death. But nevertheless, the truth is on there. Aid it, my brothers and sisters. Because, the reality of the situation is our youth are growing up, our children are growing up, and this dawah has to be carried on into the next generation. I would prefer that it was done at my hands, so that I can achieve some of that reward. And I would prefer that it was done by way of my donation than someone else's donation, so that I can achieve some of that reward. So those non-Muslims that enter into Islam due to a CD that they heard of our brother Abu Hakim, or a CD that they heard of one of the other du'at, Abu Uwais rahimahullah, that were published by Maktaba, better that it was my donation that paid for that CD, and then someone took that CD and gave it to that non-Muslim. The non-Muslim heard that CD and became a Muslim. That was my 50 pence that did that. Every act that Muslim now does thereafter of righteousness, I get some of the reward. I would prefer that reward came to me than somebody else. We need to start thinking like that, like Sheikh Al-Anjari. That's so ajib. How amazing is that? How amazing is the fact that I could be driving through Germany and this guy tells me, have you heard of Sheikh Muhammad al-Anjari? And I'm Muhammad al-Anjari. Happens. You go to Jamaica. Me and Abu Hakim went to Jamaica a few months ago. And we saw Maktab as-Salafiyya CDs and leaflets. How did they get to Jamaica? Obviously someone sent them. But then you're thinking, subhanAllah, look, how many? 11, 12,000 miles away? Our dawah is spreading. Salafi dawah is spreading in Trinidad, in Barbados, in these places, in Guyana, South America. Our dawah is spreading. The dawah of the Salafi dawah in the English language in Sri Lanka, in Australia, because of the efforts of the brothers and your donations. So as you take this break in the next 45 minutes, it takes 5 minutes to fill that. If you don't know the address of your bank, don't worry. On your banker's card, on your cash point card is the sort code and the sort code and your account number. Fill in that form, sort code, account number with your name and the date, and sign it. And then take it to the bookstore or give it to one of the brothers behind the store, and it'll come back to us. £2. We want to give 4? Alhamdulillah. JazakhaAllaah khairan ikhwan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. And those that want to give cash, no harm. As I mentioned, someone wants to give cash for the whole year because he doesn't want to do a standing order. Then next year he'll come back and give another £24. No problem. You can come and give it to me at the frontier if you wish. No problem. Or you can give it to one of the brothers in the amp room, in that room where they organize the pal talk. Our brother Ozan. JazakhaAllaah khairan.